What's up, everybody? I know it's been a while since I made my last YouTube video. But anyway, just got a lot bothering me and stuff, and just anyway. I wanted to do a 2-year review with Stevens and talk about some winter talk, because winter is basically here for us truck drivers. Winter starts in October for us and goes up until, they can go up until April or May. Really, for us, it's like we got 2 seasons. We got winter and we got summer. You know, I mean, of course, you know, we have fall and stuff too, but you know, I'll get to that in a minute. What I want to talk about now first is just my 2-year update with Stevens. You know, I started here in September, October-ish of 2019. It's now November, going on December of 21. Once I go back to the yard, I get my 2-year prize. From my understanding, it can either be a cover or it can be a pendant, which a pendant is, it's like this circle type thing, and you know, you gotta get a chain. It's basically a necklace. Okay. I'm gonna talk to him and see, you know, if I can't get both for free for my 2-year prize. What I want to do is, like, the cover, for example, the Stevens cover, I want to buy it, and the pendant, you know, that'll probably be free, because, you know, every year, you know, you get your 1-year prize, you get a 2-year prize, you get a 3-year. Once you get your 4-year, you get a shirt that says senior driver. Your 10-year, you get a ring. That's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that in 8 more years. But yeah, guys, it's been 2 years. It's flown by. And all I can really say is good things about Stevens. You know, I'm successful in my business, things like that. I first started out as a company driver for my first 90 days as a grad. I then went to the contractor division for about 1.5 years. I was just a regular contractor. A lot of people get confused between contractors and lease to purchase and owner, the full-fledged, the actual owner-operators with the 4-digit truck number. Like I've said before in my other videos, just your regular contractors, you know, their truck numbers start with a 3. Like 33558. That's a regular contractor. It's a lease operator. Your lease to purchase drivers start with a 4-digit truck number, like 40111. That's a lease to purchase. That means after 3 to 4 years, they'll be eligible for a balloon payment, and then they buy that truck. Then you have your 4-digit truck numbers who are either doing a purchase or they straight up own the truck. Like, for example, you know, a truck number that's 2020. That would be an owner operator. Okay. I start with a 4. When I first started here, I was a company driver. You know, those truck numbers start. My truck number was gosh. Shit. My truck number, sorry, excuse my language. I try not to cuss in my YouTube videos no more for the company and stuff like that, you know, it looks trashy, you know, it just doesn't look good, you know, even though truck drivers cuss, you know, but office personnel and stuff like that, they don't like it, which is understandable, you know. But when I first started here as a company driver in a company truck, I want to say it was 14298, 297, something like that. And so those are your company trucks, you know, truck numbers that are 14297, 15283, 16888, you know, 17203. Okay, you can tell the difference between a company truck and a contractor truck. Okay, number one, contractor trucks, it's going to say contractor division on the door. That should immediately give it away. Forget about what the truck number is. Look at the door, you know. But yeah, like I was saying, I started as a company driver. First 90 days, I went to a regular lease operator with a 3. My truck number started with a 3. I did that for a year and a half. I loved it. I felt the need that, you know, they had even told me in business class, you know, the whole point of it really is to wanting to get you to own your own business, wanting to get you to own your own truck, you know. And I agree. Some drivers don't want to do that. Some stay as a lease operator and they continue and continue and continue to get their lease completion bonus. They'll do a 2-year lease, they'll complete their lease, they'll re-sign for another 2-year lease, complete the lease, get the lease completion bonus, do it again, do it again, do it again. Some of them don't want to do a purchase or a lease to purchase because you don't get a lease completion bonus. 1 second.
You have 1 hour and 30 minutes of remaining drive time.
I did a good little PTI before I started my video. It's cold out there. That's why I got this on. Did a walk around, thump tires, you know. Usually with the oils and stuff, I like to check that when it's cold. I mean, I'll look at it when it's hot too, but like my oil and stuff like that, I mean, I'll check it when it's hot too, but you know, when it's cooled down and everything's relaxed in the motor, you get a better reading. But anyway, going on about my 2 years with Stevens, you know, it's been great. I keep working myself up the ladder, becoming an owner operator. I'm going to continue to stay here. And yeah, thank you, Stevens, for everything that you've helped me with, things that y'all have done for me, so on and so forth, you know. I got a compliment on my driving the other day from a planner. He was like, I'm not just gonna leave you sit, man. He was like, you're a damn good driver. I was like, thank you. And he was like, you keep your doors closed. He was like, you run, you know. So if anybody ever comes with me, just know I don't do a whole lot of stopping. You know, I don't like that. You know, I like to be in my seat. I like to go. So that's really it with my 2-year update. Nothing but good things to say. Come to Stevens, y'all. I recommend it. Look at me. Look at the position I'm in. If I thought that it wasn't a good place, per se, right? I wouldn't. I'd be honest. I'd be honest. Some look at Stevens as a starter company. They get their year or two and they leave. Whatever. You know. I'm not doing that. You know why? Because a lot of the other companies that you're going to go to, like us, we run all lower 48 states. You can take your home time. Let's say you live in, I don't know, Monterey, Tennessee, and you have family in Vernon, California. You know, you can take your home time in California if you want to too. You just send in your macro for it, home time request, and you know, you talk to your DM, you communicate, and things like that. They can make it happen. So come on over to Stevens, y'all. Give them a call. Do some research. Moving on to the next topic. Winter is coming up. It's already here. Right? Winter out here is no joke. No joke. Be very dangerous. Okay. You got a trip planned better. You got to look at the weather apps. You know, over here at Stevens, we have weather shutdown. If you don't feel comfortable to drive in it, you don't have to drive in it. Slow down. Take your time. You know, if you're driving on a snowy road and you see trucks in the ditch and them getting pulled out with wreckers, and you see four-wheelers in the ditch and getting pulled out with chains and stuff like that, you shouldn't even be driving. You know? And the more experience you get, you'll be able to look at the roads. You'll be able to know how much snow's on the ground, and you'll be able to say, I'm not driving in that. You know? Now, starting out brand new, like if it's an inch or two, you know, you might pull over because of that. You know? That's fine. The company wants you to be safe. If they got to, if you're stuck in a snowstorm, they're probably not going to be able to repower it because other Stevens trucks are right there in the truck stop with you on weather shutdown, you know, or there's other trucks way out there that are going around the storm instead of going through it, which obviously you should go around it. You know, you shouldn't go through it. If you can go around it, go around it. You know, so they'll reschedule it. You know, it's like when I go back to the yard, I'm gonna talk to them. I think you got to be here 3 years to get on the chain gang. What the chain gang is you'll run like Donner Pass and things like that in the winter, and you put chains on. That does not mean that if you're going across I-70 in Denver over Loveland Pass or some shit, excuse me, if you're going over Loveland Pass or something and it says chains required, you cannot put chains on because that is not one of our areas that we run with chains. When you go on the chain gang here after 3 years, I forget who you have to, I think it'd probably be the director of safety. It'd probably be him, yeah. But yeah, chain gang, it's for certain mountains, certain areas. What else do I want to add on here? Don't be driving on ice. That is the stupidest thing a driver could do. Okay? If you see that, let's say you're driving down the road and you start seeing freezing rain hit your truck and you know it's not snow, you'll know when it's freezing rain by the way it lands on your hood and your windshield. You need to find a spot, rest area, truck stop as soon as you can. There should be no driving in freezing rain or ice. That should be one of our policies, actually. Now, if it's just, if all it is fluffy snow and there's no ice or nothing, then a little bit of snow, you know, slow down, take your time. You know, some drivers here, which there's nothing wrong with it, I'm not bashing you or anything, they'll shut down if it's, let's say it's just snow is all it is. It's just a little bit of fluffy snow. If there's an inch or two on the ground, they shut down. There's nothing wrong with that, you know. It's about making sure that you feel safe. If you don't feel safe, you don't need to be driving. Because if you don't feel safe, you're most likely, when you're driving, you're probably scared. You're real nervous. Well, then something's going to end up happening. So if you don't feel safe, if you're in one of those predicaments where you're like, well, I think it might be okay, or I think, you know, I think, then no, you don't. You're unsure is what that is. I think you're unsure. He is a rough looking truck driver. Holy shit. Dude just walked past my truck and he looks rough. But what else I want to add, you know, make sure you're doing good trip plans, watching the weather. If you don't feel safe, shut down, because it's no joke out here, man. This is a good point I'm about to add, but I gotta think how to put it. Let's say you're on I-80 in Wyoming, and it starts snowing. And let's say you did a trip plan back in Lexington, Nebraska. And so, you know, you're going to hit a little bit of snow in Wyoming. What I would do before I got to the state line, or as I got to the state line, there's typically a welcome center. Pull into the welcome center and do another weather check. See if anything, or play your message on the Qualcomm. You know, It'll give weather updates. Turn on your CB radio, talk to drivers. But let's say you pull over at a welcome center to do another weather check. And let's say when you did your trip plan earlier that day, it was calling for 2 to 3 inches of snow. Now, when you check it again, it's calling for 12 to 18 inches of snow. At that point, you could either stay at that welcome center or you could find the closest truck stop. But if you do that and you find the closest truck stop, make sure that the snow, pull up the radar. You know, make sure that the snow is, make sure that you're not going to hit the snow before you get to the truck stop, is what I'm trying to say. It's kind of difficult to explain. It's easier to just do it, you know. And, you know, you don't want to, let's say you do one trip plan or in the morning and, you know, you look at the weather. And then you're like, oh, you know, I'm good for the day. Okay, then when you get to Wyoming, all of a sudden you're in a whiteout. You shouldn't have even put yourself in that situation. You know, if you do a trip plan on the weather 200 or 300 miles before Wyoming, you need to stay up to date with it. Things change. One minute they might call for 4 or 5 inches, the next minute they might be calling for 18 inches. Wyoming gets slammed. Last year I think their biggest blizzard, it snowed for about 48 hours and they got about 32 inches. I think Wyoming, throughout the year of winter, every state they keep track of how much snow they got that winter, if that makes sense. And Wyoming is typically above 80 to 90 inches per year. Last year I think it was 87. Colorado is no different. You know, the Northeast is no joke with winter either. And honestly, most of all, with doing trip plans and dealing with weather, it's just some common sense. That's all it is. You know? Just use some common sense. That's all. Be smart about what you're doing. You know? Take your time. If you got to, make a phone call to safety. Pull over. Not on the side of the road. Let me make that clear. Pull over into a rest area or a truck stop. Call safety. Call a former driver. Call your trainer. Sometimes it's okay to ask for help. You know, I hope all y'all out there, to my fellow Stevens drivers and to my other fellow truck drivers out here in this industry, every last one of you, I hope you have a safe winter. I hope you make the right decisions, and I hope that you make it home safe and all that. We got families. Make it back home to them. Y'all stay safe out there. Thanks for watching. Peace.